More great guests continuing on the air with me here today. Mason County Auditor Herr, Election Superintendent Fina Ormond. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Great.
Doing good.
Exciting times around
It is.
Mason County right now.
Yeah.
Coming up on Monday through Wednesday, people in the city of Shelton will have the opportunity to put their names in during a 3-day filing period for the Shelton City Council, and that is exciting. This is a big change and an exciting thing that's happening here, not only in the county, but going from the commission to the council, last one here in the state, something like that. How are y'all getting prepared, and are you hearing some good interest from the community?
Oh, sure. I was going to say, in the 25 years I've been working in elections, never have we ever conducted a primary in February and the general in April. So it's something new for us. It's why I love elections. There is always a new challenge, always.
How do you come up with when these are going to be? I mean, is there a certain 60 days from this date, or you just say, well, we got to get this done so there's enough time for people to...
That is our biggest challenge, is the short time frame that we're in. Election is really regulated strictly by, federal and state law, timeline-wise. And this one is more like a special election, even though it's a primary and general. So in normal elections, the candidate filing period is in the middle of May, and it gives us about 6 weeks to prepare. We create the ballot, we test the ballot in the system, we print the ballots, we mail the ballots, everything that we have to do we have about 6 weeks before we have to mail the military ballots.
Wow.
We have 2.5 weeks this time.
Wow.
And that is why the candidate filing is next week, so soon, because that will give us, right at pretty much 2.5 weeks. And, then we have the Christmas break. So we're really on a time crunch. But I'm getting a lot of emails. I know Fina is asking questions from potential candidates on, what's to be expected. So there is a lot of interest out there.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it really
That's
is.
exciting. So the city commission had earlier in the week set the numbers of the pay scale and things like that. So now we know that 10% of the pay that the council members would receive is how the filing fee works. So $60.
1%.
Oh, 1%.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it is $60.
$60 is correct, yes.
And it's open for position 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. So we've had the cases in the past where these special elections have come forth. People put their names in, and you're on. Is that how it works? You cannot take your name off after
That is
you...
correct.
Okay.
So once there's no withdrawal period for a 3-day filing. So if you come in on Monday and file for position 1, you are going to be
4 or 5.
I'm sorry, yes, for position 4. And you come in on Wednesday and say, never mind, I don't want to be on. It's too late. Once we've accepted your declaration and you've paid your filing fee, you're going to be on the ballot.
And that's even if there is multiple candidates for the same position?
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
Even
a lot
if,
of, yes, go
yeah,
ahead.
and even if you want to move from 4 to 6, that is not possible. Once you file, you file.
So the person will be able to choose the number. It's not just a fill in. So, all right, the first 5 people will go 4, 4, 5, 5. It is
You have to
choose
pick
the number.
Yes, the candidate, when they come in, they let us know which position they're filing for.
Is there anything different about them?
There isn't anything different about them, but it will make a difference in terms of who files for 4. That's who you'll be running against.
Oh.
So if whatever the 2 or 3 people who file for position 4, they will be the people you will be running against, and whoever files for 5, so on.
So you may see a rush Monday morning and then something later Wednesday when people go, okay, I have maybe a better shot against this person or that person.
Yeah,
They can.
so
And when they come in to file in our office, that is public information, who has filed and in what position. So, yes, they can take a look at that before they decide what position to file for.
What do you need to bring in to show proof that you are a City of Shelton resident?
So basically, when you come in, we're going to verify that you're a registered voter in the city of Shelton. And so that's what we'll do to register you. The declaration of candidacy has part of what's on there is that you swear to that you're qualified to hold the office, and those kind of rules about that are kind of between the candidate and the city.
Okay.
So we don't have a way to verify someone's residence.
How much does this cost to do something like this? Set up this whole special election, get the things set up in the computers, printed, all that stuff.
I would, overall, a special election this size would probably cost what? Give me an idea.
Maybe 40.
About 40,000.
Wow.
But it's hard to say just how much. It's been very labor intensive. Just, we've been in a lot of contact with the city, with their attorneys, the attorney in Seattle. We wanted to make sure, because we are on a time frame, a short time frame, and we didn't want anything to go sideways on this. It's very, so
it's very important to get it right.
Get it right, and so we have spent a lot of time with the Secretary of State's office, because usually we follow the guidelines like in state law and federal law, and it's more of a special election in between a special election and primary election. So we have spent a lot of time just setting up, making sure that we have everything in order to conduct this accurately. So time-wise, it has really been taken its toll. But overall, if that was the only election, it would probably be about $30,000.
Yeah, and we do bill actual costs. So that's the actual cost of the ballots, the actual cost of the mailing, the actual hours spent on the election when we bill.
Are there counterparts in other counties that you called up and says, "You got any advice on this?"
I have talked to some, and surrounding counties are very interested in this and watching this, and none of them have really experienced anything quite like this. Like, we have new jurisdictions like Hospital District 2, where it was on the ballot to create it, and then we had the candidates, and it was all staggered. But this one that one happened in the time frame of a primary and a general. This one, because it's February and April, is very unique, and I've not talked to another county that's really conducted one like that.
Wow.
And this type of moving from a commission to a council is obviously, like you said, the last one, there was, it's been a long time since the last one switched, so there's not a lot of, we'll just call them, they did it 2 years ago. So
you can go to co.mason.wa.us/elections to file online, or go to the Elections Department, 411 North 5th Street. Normal business hours for that filing period, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8:30 to 4:30?
It is. I'd also like to just point out that there is online filing, which will start at 9 o'clock on Monday and close at 4 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yes.
And that's open 24 hours a day. And another point I'd like to make is, at the end of filing period on Wednesday, after everybody has filed for office, we will have a lot draw, which will determine how the candidate's name will appear on the ballot.
What order?
In what
So
order.
it's not alphabetical or who picks first, it's automatic draw.
Yeah, we do a draw
and that's not unusual.
Sure.
That's what we do for So if there is 4 in position 1, it'll be a lot draw to find out,
Wow.
who's first. And then obviously in the general, it's the candidate who receives the most votes will appear first on the ballot.
And then voters, are there any upcoming dates that they would need to make sure that they are eligible to vote?
Yeah, so the deadline for transfers, say if you're registered in a different part of, you're not registered in the city, but you are a Washington State registration voter, is January 15th. So that comes up pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, because it's a 29-day deadline. And then for voters who are not registered anywhere in the state of Washington, the deadline is February 5th.
Okay.
So, so it's important to get those transfers in. We certainly, even at the general, had people who were like, "Oh, I live in the city and I really want to vote," and they missed the deadline.
Yeah.
So it comes up fast for voters.
Keep that in mind if you want to get your voice heard. This is an exciting time in the city of Shelton and all of Mason County as we move from a commission to a council. And again, the 3-day candidate filing period, Monday through Wednesday. $60 filing fees for all of those positions, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you can, again, go to the Elections Department, 411 North 5th Street, or online. We'll put the links when we post this interview. Karen, Fina, thanks for coming on and talking about this.
You're welcome.
It's an exciting time.
It
Yeah,
sure
it's
is.
great.
It's very cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It is.